Okay, so I'm just going to explain my silage quality graph and make a few observations of what I've learned over the last 6 years, and try to explain some of the variation. It's a fairly comprehensive graph, but I find it very useful. Um, so basically it shows you your average trends for each year, and all the little dots are the individual silage samples. So it means you're comparing averages across the whole year across all cuts of silage, and not just um, sort of cherry picking the good samples and leaving out the bad ones. So for example, if I wanted to click on this sample here, which had very high volatile fatty acids, that was second cut 2017. This one's a bit lower, was again second cut 2017. If we move into 2018, the highest one there is the third cut, with the lower ones first cuts, um, first cut early and second cut as well. So it gives you an idea of trends. So I'm just going to quickly run through some of my observations. Um, you'll notice first of all that dry matter or D values have been improving every single year, and it's been a fairly consistent trend. And within that you can see all the little dots. There's very little range, and they're continuously moving upwards, so that's very, very important, and it's very good to see. And the intakes, however, did not follow the same trend. The intakes, however, had a drop originally, and then there's been a large increase since, and this corresponds to the dry matter. So what happened here was that, especially if you look at 2015, which was this bar here, my dry matters were very, very low, but my D values did improve, and that was moving towards earlier cutting dates. So as we moved to earlier cutting dates, the grass was leafier, it was higher in energy. However, the problem was that it was harder to dry, and at that stage we were still auto-swathing our grass into 20-foot rows, so dry matters were very, very poor, and that had the effect of reducing our index and pulling our intakes well down. Then you'll notice that we had a big increase in intakes, and this mirrored somewhat by an increase in dry matter. So that was keeping the earlier cutting dates, but now raking our grass and mowing it out flat, which got our dry matters up, which helped to improve our intakes. Some other things to note were our sugars. So we always struggle with sugar levels, and in 2017, which is the red bar here, which is where we've seen the really large jump, in 2017 we moved to mowing only in the afternoons. So we would only have mowed our silage after 1 p.m. We only had a single 10-foot mower in 2017, so this had the effect of us starting later in the day and mowing later into the night, which was good for our sugars, but the problem then was with a 24-hour wilt, the grass wasn't getting anywhere close to 24 hours, it was getting very little sunshine to actually dry, especially if it was mowed late in the evening. So you'll notice our dry matters, even though we were raking our grass, didn't improve at all, but our intakes did take a big jump up along with our D values, probably due to the more sugars and better fermentations. So what we done in 2018, which got us a very big increase in dry matters and kept our sugars high, was again not mow until the afternoon, but now we bought another 2 mowers, so we had 3 mowers, so it meant we could mow everything for the next day within about 4 hours. So that even the grass mowed last was still being mowed at like 5 p.m, which meant that it still had time to dry, because the first 2 or 3 hours after it's been mowed is where it loses most of its moisture. So that's a quick overview of what I can take from this graph. Going forward, I will continue to use Ecosoil inoculant. I think it's done well. You'll notice our volatile fatty acids are well down. This would have been the first year that we used it on almost everything apart from the second cuts. And more reseeding, the Italians, I'm moving to 5 cuts on them and trying to bring the rest of the silage round up to the 4 cuts. So cutting more often, which should help improve my D values. It'll also happy with dry matters, but it'll probably also increase my crude proteins by cutting more frequently as well. So, hope that explains something.